All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Pozios Picks. This is episode 87, and in this episode, I am going over the Week 11 college football slate. A lot of good games on this slate. Obviously, we're getting later into the season. A lot of playoff implications in all of these games, so we're going to be entertained this Saturday. I can't wait for these games. Without further ado, let's just get right into things. The first game I want to go over on the slate, Mizzou is going to Tennessee to take on the Volunteers. Tennessee are 20.5-point favorites at home in this one. Tennessee is coming off of that bad loss to Georgia, and I know for a fact they're going to be ready to go back at home for this one. The weather, on top of that Georgia defense, really held this offense down last week, and I know for a fact Tennessee's going to do all that they can do to stay in that college football playoff conversation. Style points and beating these unranked teams at home have really mattered in years past for playoff rankings, so I think Tennessee tries to pour it on them in this one and get that offense back to where we saw it earlier in the year. Give me Tennessee minus the 20.5. I think they win this one by at least 3 touchdowns at home. The next game on the slate, LSU is going to Arkansas to take on the Razorbacks. Arkansas are 3.5-point underdogs at home in this one. I think this line is screaming at you who to take. LSU could not be any higher right now, coming off of that Alabama win at home. What a crazy game. And Arkansas could not be any lower, coming off of a home loss to Liberty last week. Arkansas hasn't been that great at all this season, especially on the defensive side of the ball. But this is their chance to win that big game on their home field. I think Arkansas pulls out every trick in the book here and tries to win a shootout type game against LSU. With all that said, I am leaning Arkansas to cover this number, but my main play for this game is going to be the over. Like I said, Arkansas has not been good on defense this season, giving up over 440 yards per game. And with how this LSU offense is operating, I think there's going to be a lot of points scored. I wouldn't be surprised if LSU went in there and beat them by a couple scores with how they've been playing lately. That's why I like the over much more in this one than the spread. So give me the over 62 in Arkansas for this one. Next game on the slate, we're getting into some Big Ten football. Purdue is going to Illinois, and Illinois are 6.5-point favorites at home in this one. This one's pretty simple to me. Illinois, first of all, is coming off of a bad home loss to my Michigan State Spartans, a game in where they really could not get anything going on the offensive side of the ball. Illinois is back at home, and we've seen it the past couple games for Purdue. They have struggled against really good running backs. I think Chase Brown and this Illinois offense really bounce back here and get it done against what has been not a good Purdue team this year. Give me the Illini at home. I'll take them to cover minus 6.5. The next game I want to go over, back to the SEC. Vanderbilt is going to Kentucky to take on the Wildcats. Kentucky are 17.5-point favorites at home in this one. Kentucky has not played a home game in almost a month, and I know they're going to be excited to play one back in front of their home fans. Kentucky has also had to play some really tough, grinded out games lately against some decent SEC opponents, and I think they are fully ready to come back home and honestly kick the shit out of somebody. Vanderbilt is the perfect opponent to do that against. Vandy have had some really tough games this year, especially when they've gone on the road. For example, the point difference for Vandy at Alabama and at Georgia was 110-3 in those two games combined. I think Kentucky puts it on this lowly Vanderbilt squad, and they win this game by at least 3 touchdowns. Give me Kentucky minus 17.5 in this one. The next game on the slate, Georgia are 16-point favorites going to Mississippi State. Georgia is obviously coming off of that huge win at home against Tennessee, and I think this line is reflecting that. I think Vegas might be expecting a little bit of a hangover in this one, but I think the opposite is going to happen here in Starkville. Mississippi State simply has not looked good in their last 3 games, and I think this Georgia defense is going to be their worst nightmare. We saw what this Georgia secondary was able to do to Tennessee, and we saw how even Alabama was able to hold this Mississippi State team to 6 points. I can only imagine what this Georgia defense is going to do to this air raid offense. I think Georgia is 3 touchdowns better than this team, even on the road, even after a big win, and I think they flex their muscles and prove why they are the number 1 team in the country. Give me Georgia minus 16 in Stark Vegas. The last game I'm going to go over, don't worry, we're going to have some more plays for tomorrow, Saturday slate, over on our Picket. So if you don't follow us over on Picket at Pozios Picks, be sure to do that there to get all of the plays from this slate. But the last game I want to go over is TCU going to Texas. Texas are 7-point favorites at home in this one. I think this line is clearly telling you who to take. TCU finally gets into the college football playoff rankings at number 4. They're undefeated, and they're 7-point underdogs on the road at Texas. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but when you really dive into the game, I think it does. Playing at Texas obviously does not help them at all. It's going to be rocking in Austin, an in-state rivalry game as well. Texas is coming off of a good road win at K-State. Last week, running back Bijan Robinson looked unstoppable with over 200 yards. And if they are able to establish the run and control the game with him, I think it could be a long day for TCU. TCU also might be without their star wide receiver, arguably the best wide receiver in the country, Quentin Johnston. And we saw it last week. Without him, this offense looks much different. Give me Texas in this one. I think the home crowd pushes them to a win. I'll take them minus 6.5 at home in this primetime game. That is going to do it for this episode. Like I said, we are going to have some more picks for sure for you guys. So be sure to follow us over on Picket at Pozios Picks. If you haven't signed up for Picket yet, be sure to use our promo code Pozios Picks when you sign up. You get a sign-up bonus. Not only can you see all of our bets, but you can see what everyone in the community is taking. You can track your bets easily, and it really is the best app to use if you are betting consistently, especially now we got college basketball rolling. We're making a lot of bets. It makes it much easier to track them. So be sure to download Picket. Also, remember, we've got new merch live for the fall. Go ahead and check it out in the description below. Hoodies, sweatpants, crew necks, jackets, all the things you need for the fall and winter coming up. We appreciate you guys watching. We appreciate you guys listening. Good luck to everyone on their Saturday bets, and we will see you guys in the next one. Peace.